Hello, everybody. Thanks for waking up and shining on with us. We're really excited to welcome you into the new Shine Time Studios, where we are going to be recording more of our podcasts and our broadcasts. How you doing, Sila?
I'm doing pretty good and happy to be here. We have this new space that we're working on. It is a work in progress. We are going hard on Shine Online, which is what we're going to talk about here today. But the podcast room is slowly coming together and excited to get it out there to everybody.
Yeah, that's something that we've been really wanting to work on, and I know it's been near and dear to my heart since we first started this journey together to create a more professional feeling space, both for ourselves and for anyone that's coming into this journey. Because for me, I really wanted the Bring Me to Life experience to feel like an opportunity to elevate whatever the projects are that we're talking about. And though it's a work in progress, if people watched our very first podcasts, we've come so far.
hmm Yeah, I actually went through to look at our podcast because we're creating a mini doc for Shine Online
Mm-hmm.
about Bring Me to Life and how we met and how all that got started. And it is interesting to go back and look, and the quality wasn't great at all. The quality was quite horrible, but
I mean, there were a couple episodes where I had to tell your other co-host to put a shirt on.
true, yeah. But if you go back there, we were having fun though. We were having a lot of fun.
We were having a lot of fun.
We were live on video,
Yeah.
and being on video is like a lot more entertaining for people. You're a visual person, so I'm sure you
Yeah.
understand.
I'm a visual person, but I will say like this whole video portion, it's like been an edge for me. And I think that part of it was that I wanted it to be both entertaining, but um, high quality. So we've been working on our quality. We've been working on just feeling like, we know what we're doing. And I feel like we're getting there. We're working on it. We hope that you enjoy watching us and that let us know what you feel about the video portion. Is video important to you, or are you listening just audio? Like, we want to know.
Okay, so we're here today to talk about Shine Online, which is an event that we've done together for
Yeah.
a few years now, maybe 4 or 5 years now.
I think more than that. Last year, we tried to put a number on it and we realized that we'd done it even longer than we thought. So we're just calling it Shine Online 2024 this year.
hmm Yeah, and so for the audience, for anybody who doesn't really understand what Shine Online is, could you maybe explain a little bit about it in your own words?
Yeah, so Shine Online to me is a virtual festival where we get to feature different creatives, musicians, authors, writers, artists. I like to say change makers and the shakers of the world because there's people that have something inspiring to share. And with Shine Online, I want to be able to, again, like elevate whatever it is that they've been working on. For me, I grew up in a house where Fox News and news in general was like a regular occurrence. And it was really heavy to just hear about negative things all the time. And with Shine Online, I feel like it's an opportunity for us to share some inspiring content, inspiring news. And yes, there's things that we want to bring to the forefront that people need to be aware of, but we like to do so in a way that motivates people to take action rather than being afraid of living.
Yeah, one big lesson that myself have learned, my personal being, I've learned that it isn't always sunshine and rainbows. The journey can be messy and hard and difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have to be as depressing as maybe watching the news could be. It can be uplifting. Like going through things can be uplifting, and we're highlighting all of that. And yeah, so Shine Online, we're going to interview a lot of creative people,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of authors, artists,
Mm-hmm.
just really beautiful people doing really inspiring work. That's a hot word here, inspirational, and we wanted to do it in kind of like the winter blues area.
Yeah.
It's February. It's been on and off cold, snow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good time to inspire.
Totally. And it's funny because we've been doing this virtual festival since before virtual festivals were cool. I remember the first time
Yeah,
that
before COVID started.
I remember the first time we did it. We tried to have a lot of different musical performances and workshops, and we really wanted to bring what a transformational festival looked like, but into the virtual world. And people were kind of confused by that. They're like, "Oh, do you really think people are gonna sit and like watch all this content?" And little did they know, like a couple years later, everybody would be doing all the online content, and we as humans have kind of transformed into beings that enjoy online content in this format. And one of the things I love about Shine Online is it allows us to connect people through time and space anywhere in the world. We have a few creators that have submitted things in previous years that were from different countries,
Mm-hmm.
all over the US map as well. And it's really fun and unique to be able to connect all of these people. And what I really hope for Bring Me to Life is to be the network that connects the creators all over the world and it be a global project. This year, we do have a lot of Appalachian artists and creators that are participating, mainly because we have the new studio. So it's been really fun to invite people to us that are in our regional area.
Mm-hmm.
But we are looking to expand and work with people from all over the world. And I'm hoping that people listening, if there's somebody that is inspiring to you or you believe is making a big change and impact in the world, share them with us. If we can't feature them during Shine Online, we would love to still connect with them and find a way to include them into the network as we continue to grow the podcast portion and the articles and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say so. One big thing I've learned through our journey with Bring Me to Life and the podcast here is we have really connected with a lot of these creative people because we ourselves are creative, but also because we know the healing power of creativity
For sure.
and the meaning and the purpose that it brings to our lives. And that's one huge thing that we have started to focus more on is healing and creativity. So what would you have to say about what have you learned about how creativity can heal?
So for me, using my creative energy is really important because if I don't use it, then it starts to build up inside of me. And what I've noticed with a lot of people that I work with my different healing practices is if people aren't following their inner soul's work, whether it's being an artist, a musician, an author, a healer, an advocate for change, something inside of them literally starts to feel like it's dying. And that can cause pain and it can cause different health situations in the body. And that was something that Louise Hay really spoke on in her teachings too, was like, if you don't follow your soul's path, stuff will start to build. And I've wondered that with my own family. I've seen a lot of different people struggle with different forms of cancer and different forms of illness. And a lot of them weren't as willing and as motivated to share their dreams, but they were all such creative beings. And I often wonder if they would have been, less afraid to follow that inner guidance system and to work with their creativity if they would have had less illnesses and battles to fight. So for me, I create because it helps my mental health, and I truly believe it helps my physical health. It keeps me active, which is really important, especially as we begin to age, like finding ways to stay active and to keep our imagination and our mind like swift. That's so important. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's, you know, just part of the healing journey.
Yeah. And we went to a Unitarian service recently.
Yeah.
You were there to do an art exercise
Mm,
based on people healing through grief.
yeah.
How was that experience for you?
Well, that one was particularly kind of life changing. There was a few people there that said it was the best form of therapy they've ever experienced, and they were some of what I would consider the elders of my community, and they seemed so moved by the fact that as young presenting as I am, that I had the ability to hold such a space, which really was powerful to watch them be willing to share their stories and their journeys. And we all cried together, we
Mm-hmm.
all hugged, we all really connected and understood that everybody is grieving. Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, or an experience, grief is a huge part of life, and we don't often talk about it. And when we allow space for people to be vulnerable and explore what that looks like, even if they're drawing stick figures or, patterns or something that might not seem like a masterpiece to them, it's healing.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's that's powerful and beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm so honored to be able to hold those spaces. And I've been trying to continuously offer something that I call art for healing. I was doing it every other Thursday for a while, but my schedule gets a little shifty with all the things that we're doing. But if you're somebody that's going through something and you ever see me advertise on art for healing, or there's some form of art therapy in your community, I highly suggest checking it out.
Mm-hmm. And being able to create those pieces of art, they were able to express those feelings that
Mm-hmm.
maybe was too difficult for them to express otherwise. And those art pieces endure. And just like one of the guys who was there, one of the elders who was
Mm-hmm.
there, he said that grief is love enduring. And I know you have a quote about love and grief, right?
Yeah, so it's by Jamie Anderson, and I'm not going to remember it word for word, but it's along the lines of love or grief is all the love you have to give with nowhere for it to go. Um, there's an extra piece to it about it being the energy in your eyes and in your throat and in your stomach. And just look up the quote by Jamie Anderson. But
Mm-hmm.
grief is all the love you have to give with
Mm-hmm.
nowhere for it to go
Mm-hmm.
is the biggest message I receive for it or from it. And that's true because a lot of the art I create is through grief, and it is through um, just the losses I've experienced. Of course, I drew and I colored and I did things when I was a young girl, but as I aged and matured, my art, it is a healing path,
Mm-hmm.
and it's because I hold a lot of grief and a lot of loss. And when I can't figure out where to put that love, it goes into my paintings or it goes into spaces and offerings I create, which I also think that's an art form. I haven't got to sit at my my easel and paint on a canvas a lot lately, but I have painted rooms, and I've been working on the studio spaces and making them their own little pieces of art that people can come in and experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when I host an event, to me, that's an art form because, making sure the food is there and the people are comfortable and the decorations are on point. Like it's it's like the experience is the canvas, and that's me putting love somewhere because I need somewhere for it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think? How do you feel about that?
Well, I just had a another quote pop into my head,
Mm.
and this one by Les Brown, and he said, "The richest place in the world is the graveyard,
Mm.
where all the dreams, all the would-be art, books that haven't been written, all those things." And to me, that expresses truly how valuable art really is. And if you think about it, art's been around forever. Storytelling's been around for forever. People creating things has really changed this world and helped it to develop. And it's a lot of people might say uh, life is God's gift to us, and creating is our gift back to God or back to the world.
Mm.
And to me, that really is just so important, and it's the reason why I've dedicated my life to helping other people be creative, to putting together Bring Me to Life with you, to
Mm.
connect all these people, some who are already creative, already doing great things, but people who might feel like they might have something to express and to create, but they don't know how to get started, they don't know where to go. That is like a gap that we want to bridge with people, and that's part of what Shine Online is there for, is
Totally.
because we are interviewing the people who have written books and created those beautiful pieces of art, and they're sharing their wisdom, their experience, the lessons that they've learned through all those pieces with everybody else. So I know there's a lot of people who are like, I don't have a creative bone in my body, and as much as I want to agree with people, you can be creative. Everybody can be creative, and it's only a matter of if you allow yourself to.
See, I think that's beautiful, and that's totally what Shine Online's all about. And today I also sat down with our friend Danny for Shine Online, and what she really touched on and discussed with me today is the idea of burnout and the soul's burnout, not just like the burnout that we think, like I need a good night's sleep, but she was talking about how our soul can really just get burnt out because we don't have boundaries and because we have all these expectations that society expects us to meet. And, we want to please people. I know I'm guilty of being a people pleaser. Like saying no is sometimes very hard for me because I want to make sure that my friends have everything they need and have the support. And I want to see everything succeed. And I do feel this like, determination and dedication to just being present. But if I keep saying yes to everything, then my no isn't being listened to. And like it's important to rest. And I think where I was also going is like if I say yes to everything, it starts to lose its value. That's something that Lisa Nichols talks about a lot, is
Mm-hmm.
like the more you say yes, the more or the less value it has. But something Danny was saying was our souls get to this point where no matter how much we sleep, we still don't feel rested. And I know that as a creator that I'm a survivor and I suffer also still from that. So like I want to find a way to be a continuous survivor of it so that I can find the balance of creating and being present and walking my walk while also, you know, allowing spirit to guide me and show me what it is I'm supposed to be creating at any given time. And when you said that like we have to allow ourselves, I think it's also setting boundaries on what the outside world expects so that we can really give ourselves dedicated time to stepping into our legacy projects or the projects that we want to leave creatively or through advocacy or whatever path we choose to take. But um, I do think everyone has the ability to be creative or to use their voice in some way.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully, people listening now will tune into Shine Online because there's going to be a lot of really inspiring content, interviews, things of that nature. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get people onto our Patreon, correct?
Yeah.
And through Patreon, you'll have access to our Discord, which is where we hope to do a lot of the Shine Online things.
Yeah, and sometimes I think people are afraid of Patreon and afraid of Discord. And we've tried to use Discord before, and I don't know that enough people quite understood it. But I think we've evolved now that people understand it. And if for some reason you don't, please just reach out to us, and we will gladly walk you through it. But it's like a forum, and it's a space that we can connect with you and share outside of the normal social media. Because I don't know about you, but Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, they're a little overwhelming and a little distracting. And we want to create a space where people can really connect and build um, deeper networking opportunities with each other. And Discord's it is actually pretty cool, and we have
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity there to stream the video so that we can actually share music and stuff with you. And sometimes we get flagged on the other platforms with that. And Patreon is a space where we can start to offer you some behind the scenes content, which is what we're going to be working on after Shine Online, is giving you these podcasts here, but then also, going a little bit deeper. But having Patreon helps us also, you know, create that safety space so that we know that those that are receiving our content actually really truly care about what we have to offer, and we're trying to keep it super accessible for everybody.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Yeah, but Patreon will have some exclusive stuff for people,
Mm-hmm.
and we're really excited to build that up. And probably after we hop off the video here on our podcast here, we might do a special Patreon exclusive for
Mm.
anybody who would like to check that out. We will include the link for our Patreon in the description of this episode.
And does it require anything to join our Patreon?
It would require only $2 because Bring Me to Life makes a lot of sense. And,
Yeah.
just for $2, you get access to all these different things, exclusive content, and get to be a part of a beautiful community that we're trying to build up.
And again, like we want to make it accessible, but it does, there's something about the safety of just knowing that if you sign up for our Patreon, then you must really, you know, desire to hear what it is we're talking about, and we might do some giveaways and things there too. So it's a good place to be. There's reasons. Go join us there.
Okay. So look out for the giveaways that we will be including here very shortly. And if you're interested in, listening to what we have to say after we turn the cameras off here, check out our Patreon.
Yay!
Yeah, so Shine Online's going to happen. You go to bringme2life.com.
That's with the number 2.
With the number 2, Bring Me to Life. $2 for Patreon.
We like the number 2 over here.
Yeah, balance, we created a balance, and that's how Bring Me to Life got started, is, us balancing each other out. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to turn the cameras off here.
Wait, when is Shine Online?
Shine Online is 2/22. We've done that the last few years.
We really do love the number 2.
The first 2/22 we did was on a Tuesday, and it was 2/22/22 on a Tuesday. Crazy. Yeah. So many twos. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in here to the Bring Me Life podcast. Thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube or wherever it is, wherever you're listening,
leave us a comment.
Watching it,
help us, help us do the things. Subscribe, all of that fun stuff.
Review if you're listening on iTunes or something. There's so many. We're out there in so many places.
Sometimes that baffles my mind, and I'm like, wow, we have reached multiple webs of the internet.
Does anybody remember Pandora?
I think we're on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we love you all. We are grateful for you. We're going to end the video podcast here. And anything else you want to say before we end?
Thanks for shining on with us.
Yeah. Stay awake.
Shine on always.